All right, we're live.
One step closer to real Major League Baseball. We're at that point of year where it's just crawling to opening day. I'm not a spring training guy. I know I've seen a lot of people complaining that, the Mets games haven't been on TV for whatever reason. They're not televising them. They're hard to find, all that shit. I don't watch spring training games. Do you? I'm sure Kyle does. I'm sure Kyle says taking notes and scoring the game and shit. Do you watch it?
I get it. I usually will watch here and there just in the background just to feel like spring is coming. But between it really not feeling like spring was coming for a while there, and then like this whole Corona world, nothing feels real anymore. I'm not one of those people who's like, I need some fans in the stands. Like the noise on TV tricks my dumb brain enough, but. Yeah. This whole thing just doesn't feel real because, it's probably because like the reporters aren't there getting all the good questions. You're not getting all the behind the scenes scoops to really build everything up. So this really hasn't felt real to me at all. And I don't know. I just feel like this is like the same team. It's like obviously Lindor and we do have a couple new guys, but there's not like this like, oh my God, I haven't seen the Mets in forever. Like, I don't know. My brain is just shot.
And to me, it's like you got fucking dickheads like what's his face? Pitching with one eye closed and hitting batters. It's like this is not real. I get it if you're just a baseball junkie and you'd rather be watching baseball than not watching baseball. But to me, I feel like it's also Clem, I feel you can attest to this. There's precious free time once you get older, and it's like there's a new series out, there's a new movie out, the finale of one, this, that, and the other thing. I'm going to spend my time watching that over, fake split squad, dumb at-bats where they're experimenting and not taking it seriously and all that shit. But I recognize that a lot of our fans are just such diehards. All they want is baseball. And there was enough clamoring and chatter on Twitter and on social media that, like, if you are the Mets, you got to realize there's, like, just an opportunity. There's ratings to be had. There's a crowd to be reached right now that is just dying for baseball. So televise the games, or like right now if SNY was like, we're going to give you access to your favorite players and do like a sit down with them, and that, like, you just realize that come March people just want their fucking baseball one way or the other. And if it were me running the show or whatever, like, it's an opportunity where you got to just get on it and give them what they want,
Fucking Rob Manfred is like, grow the game? Why the fuck would we want to grow the game? My dad has had a pool store for it's 40 years now. And we're always like, Dad, let's advertise here. And he's always like, I have enough work. I don't need any more work in my life. That's how Rob Manfred's treating a billion-dollar company, which doesn't make sense. Like, my dad got his kids through college. He has a house. He has a life. He's happy. Rob Manfred just doesn't give a fuck about anything. It's crazy that, like, if you want to just watch something, you can't just watch it on a million digital platforms. You just need like one, like, what do you need? 3 cameras, like 3 different angles. Yeah. That's all you would need. And you could have the broadcasters do shit from home, or even just go no broadcast. Just like, I want to see when Fernando Tatis does a bat flip. I want to be able to see that bat flip immediately. And no one can even tweet that out. You'll get fucking a copyright strike for a spring training bat flip. That is not worth it. So
eventually, sooner or later, old guys die and younger people finally elevate in the ranks, and you become CEO and you become the decision maker. And soon enough, we'll be able to tweet the links. We'll be able to tweet the highlights. They'll take advantage of all these opportunities we're talking about. But as of right now, as long as it's still, like a 60-something-year-old white dude, baseball will be locked away, which is just crazy because, there's 2 sides. In my mind, there's like the irrational side of baseball is dying, where it's like, no, it's not. It's fine. But then there is the side of like, you can't stick your head in the sand and not acknowledge that it's not exciting for the young crowd. It's not, it's not translating to the digital world because you won't allow it. So like there are, it's making more money than ever. It's not dead. You don't have to act like, the sport is gone. But come on, like there's changes to be made. There's shit that they should be doing, and they're just the fucking worst with it. We did just get word that 20% capacity for opening day. Now, I don't know what that means. I just put out a text to our ticket guy. We're not opening day, but we're not, we're 10 days after opening day, so I can't imagine the capacity for Barcelona, the ballpark I'm talking about. Lindor Day is April 10th, I believe. If it's 20% opening day, it's probably going to be 20% for our outing that day. And I don't know what that means. I don't know if it means like will be spread out. So rather than being packed into one corner, we'll be over like a couple sections, or if this means that some of our crowd gets cut down. I don't know. I'm going to try to get answers. I hope that, everything that we sold can still be there. So Clem, where this exclusive said,
yeah, that was our boy Chris the teacher who
Chris the teacher. So Mets attendance policies 20, and Carton I think alluded to this on the air yesterday. So shout out to him. 20% for opening day. It says season ticket holders will be given an alternate location and given 5 days to approve that location or request a refund. So if you bought your ticket, if you have your season ticket and, section this, seat that, and you're being told I guess you get to decide whether you want to keep that or get your money back. So I'm hoping that means, we bought out this one section, and that means we're just going to be spread out over two. But what's good we're not season ticket holders. I don't care. I don't care where you put us. As a matter of fact, we should be like, we're like the dream right now for Citi Field, because we don't even sit in our seats. We just all, or maybe we're the opposite. Maybe we're the worst because we all just congregate around each other and drink. But you could be, you could tell me my seat is all the way fucking up there. I'd be like, I don't care where the seat is because I'm never going to go to it. We're just going to hang out and drink and like party. So I don't know. Well, I'm going to find out for you. Hopefully I'll have some answers. If you did buy tickets to Lindor Day with Barstool at the ballpark, we'll find out whether you're all good to go or what. Get your shirts at the Barstool store. If you buy the Lindor shirt and you show up wearing it on Lindor Day, you get 20% off your next Barstool Mets purchase. So Lindor Day, is it? I think it's April 10th, but
yeah, it's April 10th.
April 10th.
That could really be the perfect storm, though, because it's roughly like 8,300 people allowed in the park. And usually there's a huge drop-off after opening day, but we don't know this year because no one's had baseball for a year, so they may sell out. I doubt it. But if there's only 8,300 people and there's 250,
we're gonna make some noise.
Stoolies, yep,
we're gonna make some noise, dude. We're gonna make some noise. We are gonna make some noise. I feel like Gary, Keith, and Ron are gonna have to acknowledge us. They'll give us the same shade that they give the 7 line, or maybe Gary will be such a dick about it. He'll give us a full shout out just because he doesn't like the 7 line. Like, Barstool Sports is here. Barstool at the ballpark, the premier fan outings for the Mets.
That would be hilarious. Definitely not misogynistic at all. These guys, they're just a good, honest franchise at Barstool.
So, all right. Hopefully, one way or the other, our outing will happen. I can't imagine they just sold us these tickets and then they're going to tell people, never mind, you can't come or something. Because, you know what I mean? Like, if let's say we sold 250 tickets and they're going to say, oh, actually only 20% of that can come. How do you decide which 20%? You do just the first 20%, and why would you have sold us those tickets if you're only if you know you have to turn around and cut 80% of the people? So I think that would be silly. However, breaking news: we are Mets fans. We're talking about and while Steve Cohen may be changing the culture, the ticket people and I mean, I love my guy and he's been great, but I'm just saying overall, if there's incompetence to be had with the New York Mets, or often we will see it. So long story short, as I babble on here, we'll get you some answers hopefully soon if you did buy tickets. Also, I want to say, let me try to double check here, but at this moment, as of the other day, everything was sold out except for the September outing. There was about 150 tickets left for the final outing of the year, which is absolutely unbelievable by you guys. I mean, we sold out like we used to in 2015 when this was a brand new Barstool event. B, I was still young and going to every game and partying and hyping it up. And C, the team was really good, obviously. In recent years, it's kind of dwindled, and I haven't been going as much. It hasn't been as fun of a party. The team obviously has stunk. The fact that we sold out this quickly is a testament to A, how great the fan base here. I mean, our fan base, the Gotta Believe fan base. B, I think there's some expectations. I think people expect this fucking team to be good. And C, people just want to get out there and enjoy baseball and be at a live event. So I just opened up the September 18th outing. It looks like there are still tickets available. So let me just see if I pick 2 tickets. Yep. Okay. So there are still tickets available for September 18th against the Phillies. Everything else is sold out. If you, I think theoretically we can add more dates. I usually have been pretty content to just do one a month and sell it out and just be done with it, keep it exclusive. But if there really is enough demand for more outings and they are allowing people in, so if you want that, I need to see like enough people being like, I want to go to this, but I couldn't because it sold out too fast. If there's enough demand, we'll try to add more dates near those same outings that are already sold out.
I could be wrong too, but I feel like when they're putting together the puzzle for this 20%, the groups they're gonna probably like those people we try to get in first because it's like you're not gonna be like, hey, the dad can go, but the mom can't. Like that,
right.
Right?
I would hope, but I also could see the idea of like we're just applying the 20% to everything. So it's 20% of you guys, it's 20% of you guys, it's 20% of you guys. But yeah, then you really are going to run into like, well, you know, you said yes to this ticket and no to this ticket. Well, that's my mom and my mom and my dad. So I'm not envious right now of the concessions people, the ticketing people, the seating arrangements, all that shit, security, you know, it's for sure, you know, it's a whole new wave of Corona now where it's like the opening up is a whole new problem that we have not yet, you know, figured out where it's like we're allowed to do things, but how do we do things without it becoming a major problem? No spikes, no problems. So we'll see what comes of it. But I can't thank the fans enough. When we started Gotta Believe, I was like, you know, we talk about the Mets anyway, so I might as well just press record and have it on the record. And we're gonna be freaking out about them throughout the year, so we might as well make some content out of it. And I think we really have grown this like small but you know, crazy fan base, and the fact that you guys sold out those tickets right away is a testament to that. So I just got a text back. He said he's at a meeting right now, and he'll call me back when he's free to give me the scoop. So he also said, got some ideas I want to run by you. So
did you see, just to transition to that, McFadden's is closed?
Yeah.
Right, not coming back?
Is that legit?
Oh yeah, they're shooting up the vaccines in there. So that's closed. And McKellar's closed last year.
They're using it as a center or like it closed because of like Corona. So then
I'm pretty sure it's done.
Wow, that's so weird to me because like they never get any business in the off season. It's like so that you know,
right, but they missed the whole last year too.
Yeah, that to me feels like they should have been closed like a long time ago. Then maybe they were, and we just didn't know. Man, that sucks. But also, I'm like, yo, Penn.
Yep.
You know,
Kevin, let's go. The first Barstool Sports
bar at Citi Field.
Who's negotiating with Uncle Stevie?
Yeah, the guy that was trying to run him off of Twitter. That's a fucking problem. God damn it!
Oh.
God damn it!
Yeah.
God damn it! Hey, listen, businessmen.
You know what? Oh my God! You know what's gonna happen? You know what would happen? I'm gonna pitch this idea. They're gonna like both sides are gonna love it and then we're gonna get to the negotiating table, and they're gonna go, "Who's Eric Nathan? Who's that?" And you know what? And Dave's gonna get on the table. He's gonna go, I don't know who is Eric Nathan. And then someone's gonna lean over and go, "It's Nate. That's Nate's real name." He's gonna go, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's one of our bloggers. Did he say Steve Cohen deserves to die and burn in hell and go to jail?" The deal will be off. Fuck. God, that would be perfect. The team is good. They're young. They're exciting. Put us, the new, young, exciting media powerhouse with the gambling conglomerate right there in the building. Oh, my God. Oh, it'd be perfect.
We need this to happen. All right, listen, we need this to happen. Positive vibes only. That was my big takeaway from the last episode, because we never got to talk about this. I'm sure we could bring it back up. I'm almost scared to even say that, but Kyle and your brother were both very much on the World Series celebration was crazy. I said, fuck it. Let's go all the way in. Uncle Stevie's here. Because, listen, there's two ways this all could have ended up, right? Either Uncle Stevie buys the team or A-Rod and J-Lo buy the team. Uncle Stevie bought the team. I am just saying, good. All that's going to happen now is good. All the bad, that's all we've lived through our entire lives. Every time something looked good, it ended up turning bad. I love the World Series celebration. And just like this, Somehow, some way, we are going to end up putting a bar in the center field of the fucking Mets home stadium. That's what's going to happen, Kevin. Positive vibes only. Believe it, and it will happen. Michael Strahan said that once, and they beat the 18-0 Patriots.
It could happen. It could happen. I really wish, I genuinely believe this. The baseball teams, sports franchises, companies in general need to have, I mean, I guess they do have, but they need to hire a new version of your public relations like manager. If, like, I want to be like the White House press secretary for the Mets, which I think is kind of what the Jay Horwitz of the world are supposed to be, and whoever it is that took over for him. But like right then and there, after that 27-ounce fiasco, if there was a press conference for the players or whatever, and I was just like, hey guys, like gather around real quick. You know, that's something that we do to have some fun with ourselves. We really didn't intend for that to get out there publicly because we do understand that looks a little goofy. We look a little silly. It's a little bit lame. And obviously, it's counting our chickens before they hatch. So, you know what? Yeah, we get it. You're going to roast us and have fun with us online. But it's good to build camaraderie. So, have your fun. But the guys enjoyed it. Done. You know what I mean? Like, that would be it. If the Mets, if some part of the Mets acknowledged, yep, we're going to get made fun of on the internet right now. But, hey, we're just trying to have fun. I think that would be so much better than the way that for everything. It's not just that one occurrence. If there was always, if I could stand up there and be like, yeah, Noah did send those tweets talking shit. And then, he got knocked around today, which is never a good look. But, whatever it is, just address the things. Address LOL Mets head on. It's like anything else in life. When you ignore it, stick your head in the sand, try to act like it's not a big deal, try to act like you're right and they're wrong. It never works. So I would rather just be like, yeah, hey, man, that's what always happens to the Mets, right? Yeah, our player did tweet about cream pies. Do you remember that? Daniel? Nothing better than when Justin Turner cream pies you. It would be funnier if someone just acknowledged these things. And I think that's why, people love Steve Cohen so much, is that he would actually respond to issues on Twitter. We should do that in an official capacity for everything, big and small, because I've always said, man, the problem is 75% incompetence putting a good product on the field. And then 25% of an image issue where there's no confidence and there's no pride because you're like, ugh, I'm on the Mets. You know what I mean? And if we address the LOL Mets every time it happened, I think it would go a long way. So anyway, that's my aside here.
Speaking of Uncle Stevie addressing the big and small things, just a little, this is the proof that the little things that bothered us and really pissed off the common man are going to be addressed. He took down the Chick-fil-A polls.
Yes.
The Chick-fil-A polls were fucking so stupid because A, they blocked a bunch more people's view because they had the Chick-fil-A logo. And B, every time you see it, you're like, man, I really want some Chick-fil-A. And there was no fucking Chick-fil-A in the stadium. Yeah. Do you guys remember when Sonic or even Chick-fil-A, where you would see those ads back in the day and there was no Chick-fil-A's or Sonics near? And you're like, man, that looks fucking awesome. I wish I could have it. And there's not one within 500 miles of New York. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. The fact that was there is such a Will Pond money grab, dumb fucking short-sighted move. And the fact that TV is just that was probably $1 million. Millions of dollars he probably just threw back at Chick-fil-A. He's like, nope, get the fuck out of here.
In a tweet reply, not even no tweet, not even a statement. He just said, I don't know about all that other stuff, but there's no more foul balls. Done. Love it. Bingo, bango, move on.
Crazy. And it was so stupid they even went up in the first place. So this is this is the proof that everything is changing for the better, because I'm sure we're going to get into it now. We called it from the jump. The silver medal finish, the silver medal finishers in the Mets bidding process, it's already a shit show. A shit show.
Think about all those headlines that you saw, except it would say Mets owners, blah, 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 blah. New Mets owners split up. New Mets owners are back together. New Mets owners cheated. New Mets owners this. New Mets owners that. It would be, yeah. I do think you're right, Clem. That was a fracture in the what do they call it? What do they call that thing? The multiverse. That was a fracture in the multiverse. We went this direction. We're now living in this plane over here where all the drama. I mean, God, they would have been so bad. So bad. And then this drama on top of it would have been a nightmare for the Mets. And instead, it's just like, feet up. Uncle Stevie's bidding on art. Nobody cares. I wonder really what they would have done, because they clearly would have blown their load buying the team. So right now, when we're clamoring for the Lindor extension and the Conforto extension and, still want to go after free agents in years to come, they'd be like, we're not doing any of that because we don't have any fucking money, So
it would be like in Major League Baseball where or Major League, where the owner, everybody hates the owner, she hates the team. It's just like it's J-Lo that gets stuck with it because she's the face of it because she was supposed to be the main person.
Right.
And she doesn't even care about baseball. She was just doing it because A-Rod wanted to see. It would be fucking brutal.
A-Rod went to, Mama Bear, went to like his sugar mama and was like, I really want to be an owner of a team. Right. She was like, okay, baby, I got you. And then, 6 weeks later, he's fucking some girl from Southern Charm. And she's like, don't care about you and your little pet project anymore, bro. So, like, kick rocks. Right. You know what it could have been? It could have been straight out of fucking Ted Lasso. You guys watch that show?
No.
So Ted Lasso is Jason Sudeikis. By the way, just quick aside, Apple TV, aside from Netflix, is the number one streaming service there is. It gets no love. It has like 4 or 5 like must-watch good series to watch. And Ted Lasso, it was based on the commercial like a little while back. Jason Sudeikis is like a bumfuck college soccer coach, oversees like one of these premier teams. The husband and wife, the owners, get a divorce. The wife gets the team, and she's like, my ex-husband, the only thing he ever loved in this world is this soccer club. So I want to like torpedo it. So she hires Jason Sudeikis because he's like a bad coach, and she's intentionally trying to tank the team. So J-Lo would be just like her. It'd be like, A-Rod loves the Mets. He always wanted to be on the Mets. He always wanted to own the Mets. Now he does. Well, now I'm gonna fucking torpedo this whole club, and it starts with McFadden's. It starts with that, and then he's going. Next thing you know, our team is even worse than we were before. And the thought that we not only dodge that, but that we have the complete polar opposite.
J-Lo's a fucking Yankee fan too, so we would have all the Yankee fans been like, our Yankee fan is literally tearing you guys apart. They would have been the King Solomon. They would have put the Mets up in front of A-Rod and J-Lo, and it's like, listen, do you want me to rip this team apart, or do you want to like one of you gets it? And they'd be like, fuck it, rip it apart. Like I get this thing, and they'd be picking us every little like piece of like revenue they could get from it. It would be like the Wilpons all over again, where it's like just short-sighted moves to kind of get things going. There would be no long-term things like let's get Francisco Lindor and sign him to a long-term deal. I cannot put into words just how thankful I am to God, the baseball gods, Uncle Stevie, my real God, all the gods in the world for letting this man come into our lives. And the fact that I know Darren tweeted this out on the 7 line the other day when Uncle Stevie's like, who were the team guys that came in second again?
Well, the man is, I know we've been calling it the opening day gala because that's what Stevie calls it, but maybe that should be like Stevie Cohen Day. It's the Stevie Cohen Gala. It's us honoring the man who, changed our lives forever. So that's what's the official date of that? March 31st, I think.
March 31st.
Yep.
I don't know if I said 8 p.m. last episode, but that was kind of just off the cuff. I don't know what time we want to roll.
I think that works. It's the night before opening day, so it won't be conflicting with any games, and we'll put it out last night. Last night we did a KFC Radio Live for St. Patrick's Day, and we had a blast. So I'm excited to do one for We Gotta Believe. So March 31st, Wednesday night, 8 p.m. The Stevie Cohen opening day gala, where we're gonna, if you want to. So I said this a couple times, but we got to formally do it now. If you want to be a part of our show, you can make some short videos talking about, let's say, your best Mets fan experience and worst fan experience. Your favorite moment, your least favorite moment, the ups, the downs. Let's maybe do worst Wilpon moments. How about that? We can celebrate Steve Cohen by highlighting the ineptitude of the Wilpons. Anything you want, make a quick video for us, and the best ones will make it to air. We'll play them throughout. So make a video.
And I had people were asking, why are we asking for the worst moment? And we talked about it like months ago, but this is like the last dance where they're burning everything in the trash can. Right. They're just letting it go, starting the slate clean.
Why are we talking about the worst moments? Because we're done with the worst moments, baby. Let's fucking remember, because in order to really cherish and understand just how good it is now, you got to understand. And there's a lot of young fans out there who don't know it all. There's a lot of people who didn't live all the way through it. So you have to understand exactly just how bad it was so that we can celebrate just how good it's going to be. But I also understand it. You don't want to be negative the whole time. So if you want to celebrate your fun moments as well, let us know. Basically anything, any good, intriguing, engaging Mets content, we'll put up the videos. So make a short video. What do you want to do, Kyle? You want to have them DM it? Do you want to?
Yeah, they've been sending them already. So you can DM us on Instagram. You can DM us on Twitter. If you want to put it in the Facebook group, more than welcome to. We'll go through them and pick out the best ones.
Yeah, and
if you want to just tweet them out too and tag us, so it's just out there already.
That works too.
Any way you can get it out there. Just I guess if you do that, maybe hit us with Stevie Cohen. How about Cohen Gala? Hashtag Cohen Gala. Any of the content you want to maybe see make it to the show. That way we can search it in an easy way. So tweet it out. Hashtag Cohen Gala or
we Gala believe. Wasn't that the other one?
Oh yeah,
we Gala believe.
We Gala believe. Hashtag We Gala believe. And we'll put together all the best content. And so that'll be Wednesday, March 31st, 8 p.m. Stevie Cohen Gala.
A few people asked me too. They're like, "Have you guys already like? We haven't decided on who yet. We haven't like looked at all the videos and be like, all right, these people like, just send them in and we'll go through all of them. You know, Kyle and myself, we'll go through all of them.
Game
so
time
nothing yet.
Yeah, that'll be on the fly. So,
boys, I have to tell you guys this too. The way it all worked out, I will be getting my second vaccine shot for the Moderna opening day at 10 a.m. And they say like our girl I always say her name, Doelg. She said like, and I've had a few people get the vaccine, they've been fine, but she said like for her, the next 10 hours was absolute hell. Terrible. And it basically goes right into like 10 hours after my shot will be the first pitch of the 2021 season for the New York Metropolitans. So I said, there's no better way to fucking get this season rolling than to get my fucking prick and then have these fucking 25 pricks potentially ruin my life. And again, positive vibes only, but I just thought it was a funny little thing. We're going to have the gala that night. I get pricked and then then the real shit begins. Like you said, if you're not getting in your rewatches or you're watching your new shows, you have until April 1st or March 31st, and then it's just Mets every single night for the rest of our lives.
No,
for the next 6 months.
I don't think people, we kind of we got a little taste of it last year, but I haven't done like a full season now in almost like 2 years in a way. So it's like time to remember how it is every night. 7. Let's go.
I printed out the schedule and I was like, God damn, the West Coast games are going to kill me.
I mean, I don't know where I stand. Like, so I had sworn off extra innings and you swore off West Coast or vice versa. So,
I think you just straight up quit extra innings. You straight up quit them, and then I was like, well, if you do that, I
can't do West Coast games. So I feel like I don't know which one I swore off, but I feel like I swore off both of them, extra innings and West Coast. But now if this team is good, we're back in, right? I mean, now they're still doing the man on second for extra innings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All
right. As long as that happens, I'm out on extra innings. I don't want to.
They have like all these new rules that they're putting in at the minor league level right now too, and they're fucking trash.
So how about our boy Lindor saying a full formal endorsement of getting rid of the shift in the cockiest way possible, where he was like, "Let me make the play, let me flash the leather, let me do what I do." Because when you put the shift on, it just takes the glove out of my hands. I mean, what the Astros did the other day was preposterous. You see that? They put the whole fucking team in right field, where it was like, I mean, there was nobody in the infield or the outfield on the left side of the diamond.
Was that Joey Gallo? And Joey Gallo just bunted? Was that the one where
that was a couple years back. The picture that I put out on.
Oh, that was okay. I thought that they were fucking around in like spring training or whatever. But I mean, I personally don't believe you can. I think it's crazy to tell a team how they can play defense. I think it's totally like up to you. It'd be like in basketball if you were like, oh no, you can't protect the rim. Like you have to leave that open. I mean, I guess there are 3 seconds and there are rules in place in other sports where it's like you can only stand here or be here for a certain amount of time. But to me, it's like if I scout and I know where this guy's going to hit the ball, you're just going to tell me I can't play people there because you want I don't know. I'm never a fan. That's why I was never a fan of the DH. I'm never a fan of things that are just to encourage like more offense. I don't think you need that. I think if you're a manager or you're playing like championship level baseball, we're talking about in the playoffs. I know this guy's gonna hit the ball there, and you're just not gonna let me fucking stand there. To me, that's crazy.
I go back and forth. So, like, for instance, hockey was dying completely, and then they had the red line rule change, and that like reinvigorated the game and all this shit. But the real thing was that Sports Illustrated put out an article yesterday where they said the average amount of time that players are getting in and out of the box, and it's like it went from like 9% to 41% on it's taking like over 25 seconds between pitches, like taking for fucking ever. And then they said that out of a 3-hour game, like 10 balls were put in play, and that there were more strikeouts than balls put in play. So, like, if it's an issue like that where the guys are going to want.
So, what does that have to do with the shift?
So, because they're saying that guys aren't even trying to hit base hits anymore, they're all about the launch angle because they're like, if I hit it out of the park, at least it's a hit versus the fact that if I put it in play, they know. Yeah.
So, you're saying that what your defensive alignment changes the way I'm approaching at the plate, and that approach at the plate is one that takes longer and is like I'm just swinging for the fence and I'm taking time out of the ball and all that shit.
Like the result's the same. If I put it in play, they know where I'm hitting the ball. If I don't put it in play, then I can at least drive it out of the park or strike out. It's the same result.
Wouldn't the fix there though then be to enforce the rules about just stay in the box and speed up the time like that and don't you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's just a byproduct of it. I'm just saying the games are taking so long that we're sitting there for 4 hours and there's only 10 balls put in play because there's no incentive for them to get base hits because it's a lot harder.
You're more saying all the shit that makes the game last too long, then combined with the fact that these guys are
that there's a shift. Right, because you're saying for the rule change.
So if you eliminate the shift, you're still going to have the same issues of length of game. But you're saying you'll at least see some.
There'll be more action, yes. Yeah.
But you'd also make the argument that like it's a good thing to have runners on base and to have rallies and whatnot. But that's only going to prolong pace of play. You know what I mean? If you have bigger innings, it's exciting. But I don't know. I feel like those are two. I get what you're saying, but I feel like it's kind of two separate issues. Where if you're worried about pace of play issues and combining that with whether or not the ball is in play and runners are on base. I would rather them clean up the other shit than tell a team how you can play defense.
Universal DH or kill the DH altogether. I've gone a complete 180 on it since we're not getting the DH this year, and then it might come next year. You know what? Fuck everybody. I am back to being against the DH. I know the DH would be great for our team, but I like it without the DH. The thing is, everyone's going like, you want 4 pitchers to bat per game? No, you like the relief pitchers don't bat. That's why you have pinch hitters on the roster. That's the whole point of having a fucking bench. It's not just to have a guy who can run the bases or a guy that can field. You got to have guys that can pinch hit, and I think that's part of it. And then having a pitcher that rakes or bunts, there's actual strategy. So I'm officially for life now. I am so dirty for going onto the DH side. I hate myself for it.
Well, I never would have if it wasn't for that beautiful son of a bitch, Dom Smith. I mean, you know what? Let me just check real quick, make sure I'm still blocked because I'm going to have to get real pathetic and start begging him. What's his handle?
It's like Real Dom Tour. You're going to have to talk to Chucky. I mean, that's his buddy right there.
Yeah.
What's his? Yeah, is it the Real? I don't. It doesn't even pop up for me because I'm fucking blocked.
Real.
But I feel like I never would have. Yeah, the Real Smith _ at the Real Smith. Yeah, it's not popping up, so I'm pretty sure that means I'm still blocked, folks. The Real Smith 2 _ I feel like I never would have gone down that road. Yeah, motherfucker, I'm still blocked. It's too valuable for us to not have it. But I would say this, if they're going to institute it next year. So last year we got the universal DH, we brought it to the NL. Next year it's going to be permanent. How about this year we experiment the other direction, we take it away from the AL?
Yes.
All about, yes. It's like, best 2 out of 3. It's like, well, we know how it works universally. Why don't we take a look at how it works anti-universally? And then the third year we can decide, and it's definitely going to be implemented. But if we're experimenting out here, Why don't you make those motherfuckers bat in the AL? And could you imagine if you're a lifelong AL pitcher and then they're just like, hey, by the way, pick up a bat, pick up a helmet, kiddo. You got to play the side of the diamond. I mean, it would be amazing.
Poor Chin-Ming Wong, he got hurt in Houston once. Oh, poor Chin-Ming, shut the fuck up.
We act like Chin-Ming Wong was, the Babe Ruth of pitchers, where he's like this baseball royalty. Like, how could we have done this to him and the Yankees? We must change the rules. Like, fuck you. Between Chin-Ming Wong and Buster Posey changing the rules of these things forever, it's like, Jesus Christ, guys, calm the fuck down.
And listen, this is the thing, too. Dom can learn to play the fucking outfield, all right? Because I'll tell you right now, we were doing the Dom Pete. If Pete keeps swinging like he is right now, Pete Alonso's our first baseman for the rest of his fucking life.
Bro, if he keeps swinging like he is right now, he could pitch for all I care. Like, do whatever you want, Pete. You can play any position on the diamond you desire. My man is crushed it.
That fucking home run the other day when he just fucking pulled it, it made me feel like a man watching him.
You know what that was? That was a fuck bomb.
Yeah.
I needed a cigarette after that. I was like, I just got fucked.
That had the slowest exit velo of all of his hits for the whole day, and he fucking crushed that.
Yeah.
His single was like 112 miles an hour. Everything he's making right now is like so solid contact. It's
and I believe I saw he's the odds-on runner to be home run champ this year. Yeah.
Yep.
Which I love because I know, last year was so weird for him. It was like a down year, but everybody who watched or everyone who really paid attention knows he was on pace to hit 40 home runs anyway. So it was still, stretches of really bad ball for him. But the fact that the powers that be out in Vegas or whoever made those odds were like, no. Polar Bear's good to go. Don't worry about it. That gives me a lot of hope that he's just going to get back to crushing. And I like the fact that I think that last year might end up having been perfect for him in the sense of he didn't have a bad year. He had bad stretches, but as we said, he was on pace to still be like a monster. But I think it was enough failure, quote unquote, I'm using air quotes, enough adversity, just a little bit of a reality check that I think he hopefully kind of fell back in line. Deleted the social media, maybe realized, I'm not quite the king of New York yet. You know what? It's the Mets guy. Let me take this call. You guys keep talking for a second. I'll see what.
So yeah, Pete was extra thick too. That was the other thing. Remember the picture that went, and he had fucking people saying he was an ISIS supporter, and I don't think said he was responsible for 9/11. It was there was a lot of crazy shit. Pete got to learn a lesson, crash course on social media with a bunch of lunatics that we all go through once we become Barstool employees.
And I'm all for he did the cleats thing for September 11th the year before, and everything he did that first year was always seemed like the right move. And then he got a little bit out over his skis a little bit because then he's got the YouTube show. Then he's surprisingly, he must not be good on camera because he didn't get a single endorsement that I saw. You know what I mean? He's not getting the Subway commercials Judge is getting.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I think that he was trying to generate more buzz for the celebrity of Pete Alonso instead of just being let's put together another good year. So that wake-up call is enough where he's hitting the ball the other way. He's not trying to crush everything. There's nothing sexier to me than watching a power hitter drive the ball the other way. Because then you know that they're balanced. You know that they're on time. It's just everything's adding up for him to have another huge season.
When Mike Piazza used to fucking hit the opposite field and he'd give the little ooh after he hit it, that gives me fucking tingles. David Wright, obviously, that was his power rally for a while there that we just completely robbed him of at Citi Field because we have a bunch of buffoons that own the team. But again, if Pete Alonso is going to have that second year sophomore slump, like you said, or getting out over his skis, let it be in a 60-game Corona season that no one gave a fuck about anyway. Fucking might have humbled him a little, whatever it may be. And now we transition to having, him at first. And again, him being at first, the defense, I want to see the defense kind of bounce back with the offense because even though Jeff McNeil's not at third anymore, JD Double Davis is going to be at third or
Luis Guillorme.
Guillorme.
He's so good.
He's so fucking I almost feel like he's going to be it's a little crazy to throw him in with someone like this, but it's almost like a Justin Turner where it's someone you really didn't expect that much out of, and he just keeps performing. He keeps coming back more and more. You're like, this guy's fucking good. I mean, I thought his career would be the guy who caught the bat in spring training, right? It was, who was it? Dilson Herrera who launched the bat. He just fucking snagged it out of the air. And the fact that he's now 22 pitch at bats fucking coming through whenever we ask him to. And even
defensive wizard.
Defensive
I mean,
wizard.
he's the best. He's the best defensive player on the team next to Lindor. Like it's their 1-2, and that's pretty much undisputed. He makes every play, and he even makes the difficult plays look easier. Whereas like JD Davis isn't getting off of his heels in time to even touch the baseball. He's spinning, he's throwing it over there. Honestly, if he's not gonna, I think JD Davis should play third base. I think that it's his position to lose. He needs to have a very bad year. But if he can be like a gimme Jimmy for us this year, where Jimenez is gone this year and now Guillorme fills that role, that'd be huge.
Humongous. And no, I'm 100% with you. That's the exact kind of comparison I was going to make, kind of the Jimenez. And maybe that's why they said, hey, we kind of have this guy here already. We could throw him in the trade with Rosario, which, by the way, did you see that the other day? Rosario had 3 errors in center in the same inning, right? It was the same inning or something like that. Woof. I mean, and you know, like, if they're doing him in center, the Mets, that the whispers about that were very real. He would have been ended up in center. And a guy like that, unless his bat really develops, that's just a man without a home right now. And I could not be happier that Francisco Lindor should be, knock on wood. I mean, the fact that we've at least started it again. Uncle Stevie is the one closing these deals. Sandy, he doesn't have the Wilpons. And Sandy, for his credit, he did get, Yo back, even though it was a market thing. Sandy could get the guys that he had to get, and that was with the Wilpons holding the wallet. Uncle Stevie, go watch Billions if you want to see how Uncle Stevie closes deals. He closed them like fucking Mo Rivera. So we're gonna be fine there. It's like, are you even like I don't know, 1% worried just because it's not official, but I'm 99% certain it's going to happen. I can't say 0 because if there's a chance Lindor is like, fuck it, like you guys could offer me a billion, I want to test the market. So that's the only reason I won't say 100.
I honestly think that it's going to work in our favor that there's so many talented shortstops coming to the market next year that if he just gets locked up early, maybe he's walking away from like an extra 10 million. But out of like that whole group, they're all very even keeled in terms of what they're getting. So if they can give him a contract, lock him up, give him guaranteed money, and we're not going to be backloading it if I had to guess. It just makes the most sense rather than go to the market and try to get – we're going to offer him the max. Like it's unquestionable in my mind. So why were you going to go to the market and risk it when there's 2 other teams that can take off your plate?
Exactly. And where are you going to go? Like – the Mets are clearly on the rise. You have Uncle Stevie who's going to be there. If you're in New York and you're kind of he has clearly the personality to become a guy who could get those ads and stuff like that. Why would you want to leave a team that could be on the rise, young team, good team, with an owner that has billions to go for, X amount of dollars anywhere else? And like, are the Red Sox really going to trade Mookie Betts to then go over this salary cap for Francisco Lindor? It just seems crazy. The Dodgers aren't going to do that because they have fucking Mookie Betts' contract, and there's not really a lot of other places. The Cubs are looking to shed. They have Baez too that they're going to have to take care of or figure out. So I just feel like it's just a matter of time, if anything. And the Mets,
well, it's Seager and Correa are like the other 2 big names that are, and I mean they're all comparable players. It's not something where he's standing that far apart from those other 2. Those other 2 guys are superstars also. And I'd have to assume Seager is going to try to get locked back up with the Dodgers, but that window might be closing. I mean, they've made it 3 years in a row. How much more can they really do?
Yeah, and I completely understand why he wants to get it done ASAP. And then you don't want to, God forbid, have something go into the season without a contract, and then an injury happens, and then you'll still get your money in the long run, but you could take a definite hit there. So I'm not really concerned about all that. I kind of going back to Guillorme too. Like if we end up if JD can't do it, I would feel fine putting because we don't have defense obviously in left or center right now because of the way everything shook out with the DH. So it's like, oh, you want to just turn the infield into a fucking dungeon for ground balls and on the left side. That's 100% fine with me as well, as long as he can hit as well as he's done so far for us.
I mean, I know it's not going to happen on opening day because JD Davis is, if he's named the starter, he needs to play on opening day. Every DeGrom start though, after that, I'd be petitioning to put Guillorme at third. Any ball that gets hit on that side of the field, or on the flip side of that, because DeGrom doesn't allow a lot of people to put the ball in play, every Stroman start, you have Guillorme in the field. He's a ground ball pitcher. Like, it's going to benefit us in the long run. And listen, JD had 25 home runs, 20 some odd home runs that 1 year. I'm not saying it's a flash in the pan, but the body of work is that he's not going to be that type of hitter every single time through, and you can't expect that. He had a breakout season. Now he needs to figure it out.
Yeah, and this, to be clear, like, this is so funny. We kind of like we took KFC leaving to just start sewering his guy on the podcast. I absolutely love how that just happened to work out. But I do think I think a lot of his like struggles last year with the bat at the end of the season was after an injury. So I honestly think JD is going to be crushing just like he was, and it's just a matter of if you can get the defense to just like average. And then, I mean, above average is a dream, and it'll be known as Brody's greatest move outside of the DeGrom contract if JD can actually get the defense up, and if he's as hard a worker as they say. And it's just kind of nice to have an option with Guillorme. And Guillorme is basically, and then we have Villar. I mean, this team is fucking 96 wins, baby. Put in the books. 96ers, stand the fuck up. We have fucking everything. But yeah, like the fact that we don't have to have these, everyone's gonna have their own fucking catcher because like McCann should be able to catch everybody. That's like, I kind of like being able to have a utility infielder if we ever want to do something like that. It gives Rojas another option at his disposal. You brought up his name before. You want to talk about Pete dropping fuck bombs and exit velos? Jacob deGrom is just redefining mathematics. He's redefining numbers. 102 on the gun again the other night a couple times. He fucking had a no-hitter going through a couple innings before he gave up a bomb. And I mean, glowing reviews everywhere you hear. It's not just like, oh, he's dominating. He's Jacob deGrom. Like we said it real quick on Twitter earlier. Like deGrom has to become an adjective or a verb. Yeah. You just got deGrom. Like you just got smoked. You just got deGrom, because that is the only way to describe this guy of what he's become. Which when he like in 2014, whenever 2014. I always was like, Jacob. I always thought saying Jacob deGrom was my favorite pitcher was kind of like the cool thing to do. Like I really did love him, but it was such a Harvey, and then Syndergaard was this big tall guy you heard about that was coming up, and I was like, Jake is just steady and awesome. And now, like, I look like a fucking asshole because he's like the best pitcher I may ever see in my life as a Mets fan.
Right. Funny story is Ed Kranepool, who's like the original Mr. Met. He's been playing there since he was 17 years old. He's got like all the franchise records before Wright broke him. He came in for events when I was working for the Mets, and everybody was just hyping up Harvey. Like, Harvey's coming back. He's going to save the team. It's going to be this whole thing. And he would come in for these fan events with the season ticket holders, and everyone's asking all these questions about Harvey. And finally, he's like, Harvey's a thrower. Like, yeah, he could be good. He's like, you guys already have a fantastic pitcher in Jacob deGrom. And no one's paying attention to this guy, and he just won Rookie of the Year. And I'm telling you right now, at the end of the day, he will be the better pitcher. And he called that years before the downfall of the whole thing. So the way that those two careers have gone, and the way that deGrom, which everybody that harps on how old he is, you're an idiot. It's all about the mileage. He hasn't thrown – he's thrown as much as, what, a 27, 28-year-old probably? These guys have been throwing their whole lives, and he was playing shortstop. Yeah. Pitching occasionally.
Yeah. No, 100%. It's like running backs when it's like, oh, this guy's 30. It's like, yeah, but he was like the backup for his first 4 years in the league. Like, trust me, you're going to have, there's plenty of tread on the tires, and he's just getting smarter. And that's, I think, kind of where it could really grow into something, or it already has grown into something special. But even later in his career he then has the brain of the pitcher as he gets older, and the wisdom to then go along with the arm that is a fucking cock cannon that just murders these people. Shout out to our boy Brandon Nimmo too. Had a nice home run. I know he had that big grin afterwards. I know the Nimmo fucking Smile Squad was having the time of their lives with all that shit.
And then he got a terrible break on a bull, and he's I can never be always happy and content with that guy. He got a terrible jump on the next one, and then Dom Smith was also the reason that ball went out. Are you concerned at all about this wrist thing with Smith?
I'm not, but it's like baseball injuries. You have to you go from hearing a wrist injury with an NFL player. So that's kind of where my mindset is with, football, or I guess basketball is on right now. And I'm kind of getting into those injuries. You have to remember baseball players tweak the knee equals, 2 to 3 months on the DL. So I should probably the word once the O word is said, oblique, that's going to just completely bring me back to being terrified of everything. So a wrist injury, I guess, should be concerning, because that is one of those little things that could linger. And obviously with Dom, I'm feeling like everything is fine now. It just did come so out of the blue. It is concerning. I'm more concerned with Betances throwing 89 miles per hour on the fucking gun. Is he just cooked?
I mean, I just don't think that his potential was there, so you had to go get him. but after seeing everything he's doing, he's also not locating the zone. Like if you're not going to blow the ball past people and then you're also going to let runners on base, you can't be the bridge guy. Definitely can't be the bridge guy. I think that May should probably be to take on that role. Or I don't know, the Lugo question mark. Our bullpen's our biggest concern, and that's the most evergreen fucking statement you could ever make. But you have Diaz, who isn't technically named the closer. You have Lugo, who probably should be the closer, but is currently rehabbing. And then you have these other 2 or 3 guys where some of them are trying to get into the rotation. Some of them don't know if they're even going to have a spot when the team comes due. It's just a huge question mark everywhere, and Betances is probably the biggest one.
Yeah, it's concerning too. And like Betances almost felt like found money because he didn't do shit last year. He was the first year with us last season. It was just another awful Brody contract. He immediately opted into that contract because he knew he wasn't getting anywhere near that on the open market. And I honestly was hoping it was going to obviously work out great for us. And the thing is, though, the guy, Yankee fans, and I mean anyone who watched him when he was with the Yankees, when he was fucking humming and he was in the zone, it was untouchable, right? His K per 9 was like 1,000,000. But it's when he couldn't find the zone. And now if you take away the velocity as well, I mean, the guy's a straight up fucking bum. So it's going to be an absolute nightmare. And the Familia coaster's back and he gets out of it sometimes, but that's the part by the end of the first week of the season why we're all going to be hitting that bar extra hard at Francisco Lindor Day at Barstool Ballpark, because we'll have lived through a week of Familia back in our lives, along with whatever else is coming with the bullpen. I guess what's his name? Miguel. Who's the guy we got from the Orioles? The
Diaz.
Diaz.
We have 2 Diaz. I don't know if his first name is Miguel.
Miguel Castro.
Oh.
I kind of liked him in some spots. This is the bullpen, though. You just never know what the fuck's going to happen with the bullpen. So, and we got KFC locking up from another. Oh, there we go.
Yo, I'm back. Okay. So let me just give you a little update. So basically, what we kind of decided is, so obviously, anybody who bought an April ticket, like April is going to be harder than the other months because April is when there's, the vaccine is still in process, the disease is still an issue. So what we're going to do is, if you are one of the people, he's still very unsure about how they'll decide who gets in and who doesn't. But if you were one of the tickets, if it does end up being that not everybody can come, you'll be contacted. You can either just get your refund straight up, or they're going to offer you another date later in the season, because that's when, capacity issues should be less and less of an issue. And what we'll do is kind of save a particular date as an unpromoted Barstool at the Ballpark in the moment. So it'll be like, hey, unfortunately, April 10th, it's still an issue, 20%, you're not going to make it. We can offer you this like August game that chances are by then, 75, 80% capacity is going to be allowed. That's pretty much what the stadium is at anyway. You're good to go. We'll open it up to those people. And then as the date gets closer, we'll start promoting it like a regular Barstool at the Ballpark outing. That way we can fill it up and make sure it's still a full crowd, a full section, a full event. Or you can just take your money back. So, the April people wanted to get out there early, and you took a little bit of a risk. If unfortunately that risk comes back to bite you in the ass, we'll give you options to either get your money back or go to a second date. The second date, we're picking between should we just try to make it another weekend date, or if you want the price to match up, we'll pick a weekday date, but it'll be a better opponent, like a better showdown. So there's a couple moving parts, but it sounds like you'll either, long story short, you'll have the choice of money back or another outing, and we'll basically add that to the calendar because we sold so many tickets to the first ones that we'll make sure you get your Barstool ball at the Ballpark experience, or you get your money back. So
perfect.
Best case, you can deal with all these moving parts. It sounds like they're going above and beyond. My guy Aaron was like, I'll I'll take all the customer complaints. They can yell at me. They can curse me out. We know it's not ideal, but we're going to make sure you either get your money or your experience one way or the other. So,
hey, I mean, they get to come to warmer weather, and then if we do a midweek game, we just do a midweek drink.
That's the thing. Yeah, I mean, I think people like the weekend because, you can party and drink, but, a summer night against, like, I think it was like the Cardinals, maybe like a premier matchup, where it's a weekday, it's different experience, but I think a still fun one. So I think either way, a lot of the people who already bought these tickets are going to be diehard Mets fans to begin with, and later in the year when there's more skin in the game and we're talking about pennant baseball, I think that either way you'll get your fun or your money. So best we can do under the circumstances, and hopefully it's only like an April, maybe a May issue. By June, July, August, if we're talking 75% capacity, that's kind of what the stadium is. We're talking about the Mets here. They're not exactly used to 100% capacity at all times.
Right.
So, and he also told me that he heard CDC guidelines might eventually drop from 6 feet to 3 feet, which helps with the amount of seats you can sit. Also, like, who the fuck's ever closer than 3 feet?
Than 3 feet.
You have to be like on top of someone. So at that point, I feel like they can just sell tickets, at will. So hopefully, hopefully for sure, like June, July, August, September, this is just not an issue. It's just the first outings where the virus is still pretty prevalent that we'll have to deal with this. So hopefully it's just 1 or 2 outings we have to juggle, and the rest will be game on. But for everybody, we'll either make sure you get your money or your experience. I promise you, nobody will be getting just like screwed over. So
sounds good. I think that
right?
The way that it's going to go too, they were saying that everything should be open by 4th of July for full parties in the backyard and that type of shit. They're already lifting the travel restrictions in New York on April 1st. Cuomo could come down the pike next week and increase all those numbers. So
right.
It's fluid, but it's good to have a plan.
For sure. All right, cool. Was there anything else for the show, or had you guys?
We were just doing the relievers. We didn't know what's going to happen at the end of the rotation, so it's Peterson, Yamamoto, and Lucchesi. 2 of them are lefties. 1 of them is righty, who looks like he's pitching well. We were saying probably the bullpen's the biggest question mark. So whichever of these guys,
from now,
as always,
brother. Yep.
So whichever we end up going with, the other 2 could theoretically go to the bullpen and hopefully fix all those problems. But we were saying Betances is a fucking disaster.
I mean, I think we took our chance on him. We were hoping to get, good Betances. We knew there's a chance we got bad Betances. I think we got disaster Betances. I think there's a whole new level of bad for him. So that's, what's your comfort level on Diaz since you weren't here last week? Did you see what Clem said?
What did he say?
What percentage are you comfortable with Diaz in the game?
Clem, I bet you Clem said 100.
Clem said 100.
100. I mean, that is crazy, only because no reliever, minus Mariano and, perhaps at times fucking what's his face from the Dodgers with all he had the save streak.
Yeah, Jansen.
No, like years ago.
Eric Gagne.
Yes. Like,
that dude was juiced to the gills.
Yeah, like Gagne juiced, Trevor Hoffman juiced, Brad Lidge when he had that streak, and and like those guys maybe, and Mariano. Like that's the only people I could ever say in the history of baseball that I have 100% confidence in closing. But having been a guy who was at 0% for a long time, I am now on the positive side of things. I'm above 50% because I do think he showed that he was bouncing back. But it is kind of like I was mentioning earlier with the DH. Like we had the bad year, we had the good year. Right. This third year will be the decider. So like I still think the jury's out on him because we don't know which one was the fluke yet. His career was so short. There's not a body of work that's long enough to be like, okay, it's guaranteed the good version is him. So long story short, I would say I'm at like 70%.
Okay, that's fair. BC said 90. I said 92. You figure there's going to be a one-off night where because so even the 100%, he was saying 100% isn't he's going to get 100% of the saves that he's in. It's just you're going to feel comfortable bringing him in
That's what I
any
mean.
situation.
But yeah, like I'm not saying that I think he's gonna blow 3 out of every 10. I'm just saying that like the true, you guys are liars. You're liars. You're all liars because you're telling me that it's the 9th inning. We're up 1, and he comes in, and you guys are 90% calm. Like you're just 90%. Like we're good. He's gonna get these 3 outs. I'm at like a 7 out of 10 confidence that it's probably gonna happen. But I'm
so 145 games is 90%. So how many of those you think he's pitching though? Like hopefully 50.
Yeah, right. And I hope 50. I hope.
Yeah, you're right. 90 would be too much.
I mean, 90's crazy. Like that to me, so if Edwin Diaz gets in and he gives up a leadoff hit, you guys are telling me that you're not like, oh fuck, here we go again. Your reaction will be, well, we're fine.
Yeah, you're right. It's probably closer to 50-50 based on the first batter. You're right. Because then you're like, oh shit, we're getting this version tonight.
Yeah, 90%. I wish this is the problem. This is what happens when I leave. Everybody just gets fucking pie in the sky mode. Unbelievable. All right. We'll catch you guys next week. Another edition. We'll keep you posted on the official updates for Barstool at the Ballpark. Spread the word for the We Gotta Believe, March 31st. Go to the Gotta Believe Pod Twitter page and retweet the flyer and the date and the info. We want to get as many Mets fans involved as we can. If you are a Mets blogger, a Mets personality, radio host, whatever you've got to do with the Mets, and you want to get involved with the gala, get at us, and maybe, no promises, but maybe it works out. We can put you on. We can work you in somehow. Create the videos if you're a fan and want to be a part of it, and we're going to try to blow it out to kick things off for Uncle Stevie. So a lot of big things coming with our outings and our events and the podcast. So we're almost there. We're almost to the finish line, which is the starting line. So buckle up, and we'll see you guys next week.
Gotta believe.
Gotta believe.